Hello dear friends, welcome to the Tefra Academy. I am Samruddhi, your course instructor for geography. We will be discussing various topics through video lectures on geography for NET, SET, SLET or even UPSC preparations, prelims and mains both. So today's lecture is on regions and types. Region is a very important topic in geography because it is one of those regional approaches that we have which we use to study geography, and therefore regions is a very important topic. Regions and types is what I am going to discuss in this lecture. I will also discuss what is a region, then types of regions, and then planning region because it is a special type of region. So let's start, my dear friends. Before I start, I would like to tell you that we have a Facebook page here as the Tefra Academy. Please do like the Facebook page and share it with friends. We have our website, thetefraacademy.com, and we have our email address, thegeoacademytefra@gmail.com. You can contact us for whatever requirements you have, and even if you have some suggestions, you are most welcome to contact us. Okay, so dear friends, let's start. So what is a region? Suppose I tell you to think of the following places. So I am giving you some places which are already written here to think. So think about Ganga River Basin, Yamuna River Basin and Nile River Basin. Then think of Baghelkhand, Bundelkhand, Mahakaushal, Rayalaseema, etc. Think of Thar Desert, Arabian Desert, Sahara Desert, etc. Think of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Tripura. Think of the Hindi-speaking belt in our country, Marathi-speaking belt in our country, Bengali-speaking belt in our country. And then think of the Delhi University campus or the Punjab University campus or the Pune University campus. So what are these? These are all regions. And what do you think? Why are we calling them regions? Because you will find that there is something that is common in all of these regions. They are all homogeneous in nature and they have one common characteristic which defines them. So if we talk about Ganga River Basin or if we talk about the Nile River Basin, what is common? That the Nile River is flowing through this region or is serving this region, or the Ganga in the Ganga Basin, the Ganga River is flowing through this region. If we talk about the university campuses, it means that that campus comes under the particular university and therefore in itself it becomes a region which differentiates it from the surrounding regions of Delhi or the non-university areas. So this is how we define region in geography. So if I have a region, suppose like this, and there is something which is common in it, so all that area should be occupied with that common characteristic through which we are defining the area. And then there should be the boundary of it which differentiates it from the other area which is outside the boundary. So this is the concept of region in geography. So when I talk about a region, there are certain characteristics or criteria which have been set. First is that it should have a location. So a region must have a geographical location. It can be expressed in latitudes and longitudes so that we can express its extent, so that we can show that the region is lying at this place from this latitude to this longitude. It can be a very small location. It can be very small in area. The area is not important, but its location is important. The amount of land or water that the region occupies is not important. It can be very small or it can be a very large area, but it should have a location on the earth. There should be a spatial extent. So based on homogeneity, the extent of a region can be decided. For example, in this example that I have drawn, suppose this is the place where the common characteristic ends. So beyond this, there is no common characteristic which is found over here. So here the spatial extent of the region is ending. In other words, it means that there is a boundary. So a region must have a boundary, and beyond the boundary there is another region. Then there is a hierarchical arrangement. There in a region there could be a hierarchical arrangement which can be into various orders or subregions. It means that we can be we can divide a region into sub-regions. For example, the northern plains is itself a big region, but it can be subdivided into the Ganga region or Yamuna plain region or the Indus Valley plain region, Indus region. So it means that a region can be subdivided into sub-regions. So there is a hierarchical arrangement also possible. Another example which I can give is for the Himalayas. So we have the Himalayan region, but it can be subdivided, or there could be sub-regions of the Greater Himalayas, the Middle Himalayas and the Shivaliks. So this is what a region in geography means. Now let's go into the types of regions. So we have seen some examples here before coming on to this slide, that there are various regions like the Nile River Valley or the Himalayas or the Northern Plains, or we saw examples of Maharashtra or Madhya Pradesh or some states. So we have seen that there are various types of regions. There were some which were physical regions, some of them were there which were political regions. We talked about the linguistic regions also, dividing the regions on the basis of the languages spoken by the people over there. There could also be examples of an industrial region. So there are industrial regions in our country which are totally working on which have only industries in those areas. For example, the Mumbai Pune industrial belt or the Chota Nagpur plateau. So they are known as the industrial regions. So these are all formal regions because there is only one basis on or one common characteristic which defines them. So be it physical region, be it a natural region like the tropical rainforest or the tropical evergreen forest or the Mediterranean region. So there can be natural regions based on their climatic conditions or soil or vegetation, or they can be political regions based on their administrative boundaries. So there, for example, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra are two different regions because they have two different their administrative boundaries are different, or Pune and Ahmednagar are two different districts because their boundaries are different, or even within Pune there could be two different talukas or tehsils which divides them. So there could be many such types of regions, but they are all formal regions because they are bound by one common characteristic and there is nothing else which is similar in them. So this common characteristic is what makes them a formal region. So a physical region, political regions are all formal regions. Now we will just think of some other type of region, another type of region which is known as the functional region. Many people may get confused between how to identify a functional region from a formal region. It is very easy to identify a formal region because you can easily identify its characteristic when you know the name or when you see the region. But sometimes a functional region becomes very difficult to identify. So for that to understand, I will ask you to think of the following. Now think of the following regions. Suppose or areas, we can say an area served by a Wi-Fi. Now you might be having a Wi-Fi at your home. What is that area which your Wi-Fi serves? So it may also be that it serves two of your rooms, or it may sometimes serve one room in your house, and and it may also it may show the range till your neighbor's house. So it means that it is crossing the limits of your own house and going to your neighbor's house. Think of an area served by a milk booth. Who all come there to take milk from the booth? So there could be some 200-300 households which come to a milk booth from say around a region of 2 to 3 kilometers radius to buy the milk. So that is the area served by a milk booth. An area served by an internet service provider. So there could be one internet service provider in a small region, in a small area, and there could be some 500 to 1000 households which are being served by that internet service provider. An area served by a TV tower. A TV tower, generally we have one TV tower in every city or in every district, and that area is served by a TV tower. An area served by a pizza delivery center. Suppose in big cities we have pizza delivery centers, and the pizza delivery center serves that city or around for 5 to 10 kilometers. So if they are giving home delivery. So these are all examples of functional regions. Now they are bound together in a region because of a common function and not other characteristics as in formal regions. Just look at this diagram which I have drawn over here. For example, there could be four different formal regions. They have their own common characteristics, and they have their own they have their own boundaries. And this darker blue region is another region, and the red spot, the red circle in the middle is, suppose, say a pizza delivery center. So a pizza delivery center is actually going into these four different formal regions. The person who delivers their pizza is going to four different formal regions. So it means that it is crossing the boundary of its own region and going into another region, but it is not serving the whole of those regions. So this red arrow is not found over here, this red arrow is not found over here, but it is found in only this part, and it is only found in this part. It is only found in this part of this formal region and in this part of this formal region. So that it means that this area, the dark blue circle in the inside that you can see, is the area served by the pizza delivery center. So this is the functional region of that pizza delivery center, though it may go into different formal regions. For example, if you see see a TV tower, sometimes what happens is that in a state if you're living on a boundary between two states, then you sometimes catch the signals from the neighboring state, and sometimes you catch the signal from your own state. So it means that there are two different formal regions because they are two different states, but the TV tower has its own functional region, that is, has its own range where it is serving the TV connection. So it means that this is the functional region. So they might be different, they might be composed of different formal regions, but they get united because of one common function. So it is not a common characteristic, but it is a common function which actually defines them and makes them into one functional region. So what is a planning region? A planning region is a type of functional region. So a planning region is an area which has been defined by the government for planning purpose, for development purpose. So it has been identified, it has been demarcated because it is going to be developed in a particular way. That whole area is going to be developed in a particular way through a development plan. So it is so for example, if you take MMRDA consists of many cities in Mumbai and surrounding regions, and also it consists of around 1,000 villages. It means that there are different types of formal regions. So there are some coastal areas also, there are some hilly areas also. It means that again two types of physical regions are in that MMRDA. It means that there are many formal regions, there are many administrative regions also. There are cities and there are villages, but they all are together in MMRDA. It means that they are in a planning region because it has been identified for planning purpose. It means that there is a function of planning which is going to be carried out in that region, and therefore that region is known as a planning region. So it is that area which is being identified for development works. Example, MMRDA or PMRDA or National Capital Region of Delhi, so NCR Delhi. So it may cross into various formal regions, but because it is united by a function, it becomes a functional region. So let's take some sample questions on this. Very easy. It was a very easy topic, I think. What are natural regions and how are they different from planning regions? This question was asked in Civil Services Mains exam in 2019. So natural regions are physical regions where they are divided on the basis of climatic characteristics. So they are tropical rainforest, tropical areas, Mediterranean, Arctic regions, tundra region, taiga region. So they are all based on climatic conditions and latitudinal locations. And they are different from planning regions because planning regions are functional regions. Planning regions may have one or more types of climatic conditions. They may vary in physical conditions, they may vary in population, they may vary in administrative boundaries, but they are bound by the function of planning, that is function of development, and therefore it is a functional region. Now if I have to identify another question, it's an objective type question, a multiple choice question. Which of these is not a functional region? Pune Metropolitan Region, Dal Lake in Srinagar, area served by Mumbai's locals, and area served by a local cable TV. So Pune Metropolitan Region, if it's a metropolitan region, of course it will cross over many cities, Pune main city and other cities, and also some villages. So it's a functional region. Area served by Mumbai's locals. So Mumbai's locals go on to from the main city of Mumbai to its surrounding regions also. So it crosses the formal regions only and goes into the surrounding regions. Therefore, it crosses many formal regions, and therefore it is also a functional region. An area served by local cable TV is also a functional region because it crosses many societies and it may serve many people, so without any boundaries. So it's again bound by the common function of serving a local cable TV, a local cable service. So it's also a functional region. Only the Dal Lake in Srinagar. So Dal Lake is within Srinagar, within the boundaries of Srinagar, and it's a physical feature, and therefore it's a formal region and not a functional region. So dear friends, this is what it was all about. If you like our lecture, please like, comment and share, because sharing is very important. If you don't need, please share with people who are studying and preparing for these examinations. Do like our page, subscribe our videos and be a regular follower. Thank you.